Hi, and welcome to Broker Tools, where we unpack the tools, systems, and strategies that help brokers optimize the way they work. I'm Katie, your host, and today we are catching up with Chris and Bailey from Middle. For those of you who don't know what Middle is, it's a fact find and document collection management software made especially for the mortgage broker who wants simple, clear document collection process without all the AI bells and whistles for now. If you have been hunting for a way to manage your document collection process, then Middle Finance might be the platform for you. Chris and Bailey, welcome to the pod. It's so great to have you guys here.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us, Katie. Yeah, thanks for your time. It's great to be here. Hopefully, we can help spread the word of Middle and make a lot of lives easier for those mortgage brokers out there.
Yeah, and I think that is the ultimate goal. Is there are multiple fact find tools out there. What actually brought you on this journey, like as in to develop Middle in the first place?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the main driver was a gap in the industry. Everything these days, all tech stacks, all tech platforms are enhanced with AI. They're up to date with the modern ways of thinking and developing. But I think the broker and the mortgage fact find for borrowers hasn't changed since the days of the manual PDF fact finds being emailed across, documents being scanned and emailed across to brokers. So I think there really was a gap in the industry there, a way to make brokers' lives and ultimately borrowers' lives a bit more efficient and easier in terms of onboarding and becoming a borrower, essentially.
Oh, nice. And were you a mortgage broker before you started this? Or?
No, I wasn't a broker myself. But the minds behind Middle have always been in the industry. So they did know exactly what the landscape was like, and I guess they slid in the right time to bridge that gap.
Nice. And with bridging the gap, what was the journey like? Because I understand you've partnered with Finsure and in the middle of doing some other aggregator platforms as well. There's obviously been iterations through this process. How's that been for you?
Yeah, so Middle's been a few years in the making. We became feature complete probably about this time last year. And our first partnership or our integration was with Finsure's Infinity, meaning that all Finsure brokers will be able to use Middle and directly integrate that straight into their CRM. We've now also developed integrations with AFG's Broker Engine and LMG's MyCRM. So for those brokers, essentially they can plug in Middle straight into their proprietary CRM, cutting out the manual fact finding or the data handling process that a fact find would normally entail.
Nice. And with your fact find process, I mean, obviously data being the main part of it, how do you ensure data safety for clients throughout that process?
Yeah, good question. So yeah, we get that question asked almost every day, I reckon, especially with like new age brokers that are pretty up to speed with security and compliance. But here in Middle, we do take data security, compliance and governance very, very as a high priority. So we are SOC 2 Type 2 accredited, meaning we have been given those accreditations by external auditors. We are closely monitored by the ACCC, given we have open banking built into our platform. So security is our number one priority, and all that is shared safely in servers here in Australia.
Nice. And I know that with that whole side of data safety and keeping it secure and having all the SOC 2s, AI is being a large part of introductions into most systems. Yeah. Right now, you have been, I guess, not as fast as others in the uptake of it. And I think that's a pretty smart strategic move for some people. Why have you gone down that path, and how do you plan to use AI in the future?
Yeah, again, good question. I feel like people just sprinkle the term AI too loosely nowadays. Mm-hmm. AI this, AI that, without actually knowing really the depths of the platform itself. So, I mean, as you said yourself, we haven't really gone down that AI rabbit hole to begin with. I think that was on purpose, or definitely was on purpose, for a few reasons. Namely, because we don't see AI as a tech or a platform that's going to replace brokers, but rather enhance that personal touch they have with their clients already. So with Middle, I guess the plan was to sort of scale that enhancement of tech without replacing that personal touch, which I think is very important when you're a mortgage broker. You want to keep that personal interaction a high priority. keeping your stickiness and keeping your clients engaged throughout, even before the loan process starts till way after settlement. I think that's very important for a mortgage broker. So with AI and Middle, we launched it with AI behind the scenes. So we've got things like automatic TFN redactions. That's AI generated, you can say. We've got things like expense categorization. So with open banking, clients can share their bank accounts by open banking. And we've got tech in place to categorize and sort those into different sort of categories, and also giving the broker a nice little understanding of what those expenses look like over the past, 3, 6, or 12 months. Similar with like our Equifax integration, we've got that overlapping with the open banking data that has a sense of AI attached to it. So it sort of overlays liabilities with, banking information from the mortgage account, for example.
Oh, okay, nice.
But I'm moving forward, like we will probably head down with AI enhancements. Again, not to replace, but sort of to enhance that broker's ability. I think one that we're talking about last week was the ID, the driver's license. So clients upload driver's licenses at the moment, and then they also have to enter in like the ID details and the card number, the license number, just to verify and do the KYC component. With the help of AI, we'd be able to sort of extract that out of the ID and run the verification in the background. So
yeah, definitely. The future of AI with Middle is going to be predominantly based around easing that customer journey and alleviating those current pain points. Look, another one of the major, kind of pathways we are looking down is what we want to call the dynamic document collection, whereby instead of the broker having to manually go through and select documents, the system will sort of pick up the direction that the fact find is heading and then request those documents accordingly. So everything's aimed at, again, minimizing the input required on both ends from both the broker and the client. But we don't want to essentially erase that relationship.
Nice. And I guess this is the value of doing what we call a slow rollout in some ways, because at least when you do introduce AI, you know what AI is actually doing within the process.
Yeah, of course. And it's really important. We're handling data. We want to make sure that data is as accurate as possible. That's going to be going to the lender. So it is really important. And it's, we don't want to jump the gun and implement systems whereby we're minimizing or reducing that data accuracy. We truly believe that that's really critical to nail from day one.
Yeah, and I guess the value of using, the technical term is an OCR system, is that you can scan that document, you can read it, it can extract the information. I mean, with the tax file document at this moment in time, you have the capability of also redacting the tax file number. And so by the time it comes through to wherever you need to download it, it's been through that filtering process, helping to eliminate the copy and paste.
Exactly right. I mean, that's one of the core components of Middle is of course managing compliance for the broker, and that's one of the features that we have implemented to achieve that. We do other, through this talk today, I'm sure we'll cover off the other aspects of Middle and how we really help brokers achieve that maximum state of compliance.
Perfect. And I guess with data, do you have, obviously you have integrations directly with Finsure's Infinity, and you've also integrated with Broker Engine and
MyCRM.
Did you say LMG?
MyCRM, correct, yep.
Yeah. And so can some of these automations, whether you're in that system or out of the system, be triggered to automate the process where an email is sent and or information is fed back to a CRM?
Well, yeah, that's sort of how the integration is phased. So the clients will complete the application. Once completed, the broker gets an email saying, congratulations, the client is completed. And from there, the broker can obviously review, edit, make changes, and they can just push that data seamlessly into their proprietary CRM. That's sort of the basics of that API, that integration that we have here.
Nice. Did you guys want to do a little demo and walk us through Middle in itself?
Definitely, we'd love to.
Perfect.
All right, so we are now looking into the Middle broker portal. Effectively, as a broker, all your clients will be listed here below. You can go through and sort by those that are in different stages of the application. Those are still waiting to start, those that are submitted or in progress. Just quickly, I might come back to this a bit later, but I'll firstly show you guys how easy it is to send out an application to your client. So first thing you want to do is hit the create button in the top right corner. You want to choose what sort of loan type you're dealing with. So Middle does do asset finance as well. Didn't talk about that much, but we'll just do a home application for now, a property purchase, and we'll keep it with one applicant. For any new clients, you just want to hit add client and put in your client's first name, last name, and email. Now you can put in a mobile number if you like, and they will receive an an SMS invite as well through that means. Now on the next few pages, you actually have a spot to pre-fill your client data. Now this is great for those phone calls you might be taking or those discovery meetings you might be having with your clients prior to starting. It's a great place to jot down notes. So if I'm on the phone to you, Katie, for example, I can ask you, what are you looking to purchase? Do you have an address in mind? Or even just more personal details, such as, what you can see here, residential history. It gives the broker an idea of, where to start. The great thing about this is the broker doesn't have to pre-fill everything. They can pre-fill as much or as little as they like. So put in the savings and shares and leave the rest blank. It's up to you. Otherwise, you can leave it all blank and just start off with a fresh canvas if that's what your client would prefer. But again, the main thing here is that you are providing your client with less work to do. You're tailoring it and you're personalizing it more to their situation. So a lot of brokers do rather spend 2 minutes here before clicking it out. Now, before you also send it out, you can request any documents that you might want. Now, of course, you can request documents later on or at any point in time, but it's also good to start out with a few if you know what you're sort of looking for. So I guess ID, driver's license, passport, that's pretty standard. Maybe if they're a PAYG client, you might want a payslip and possibly an employment contract. There's heaps of documents to choose from, all categorized under their different categories. So lots and lots to choose from. You can also customize each document. So click on the pencil icon. If you want maybe, 5 most recent payslips, you can request that, or you can request your own custom, instructions altogether.
Okay.
You can also set up templates and settings and have these ready to go. So for example, if I've got self-employed client, I hit that template. It's going to then pre-select those self-employed documents that I've made up in settings. So heaps to choose from, a lot of customizations that are available as well. You then click send discovery journey and that will fire off an email invite and a text invite to your client, which looks something like this. This is the email, obviously. It is white labeled with the broker's branding, colors and logo. And of course, the broker's details are down below. So then the client can just click get started and they'll take them through to the client journey straight away. So as you can see here, they'll be asked to sign in and they'll get sent a one-time password to their email. So very secure, very easy to use, no need to create and memorize another password. So it's come through my inbox now and I'll just get started. Now I've already actually started this in the past just in the interest of time, but before this first page pops up, your client will be asked to go through the privacy consent terms and conditions where they just agree with a tick box, and that covers off the broker's compliance aspect in terms of privacy consent. And at the same time, Middle actually emails out the credit guide straight to the client. So in a separate email, the broker will, or the client will receive the broker's credit guide, which is fantastic. So we do cover off all the compliance stuff that the broker would normally typically do on their own. So back to the client journey. This is the first question there, first page of the application. It asks about the property purchase. So if the client has an address in mind, they can pop it in. Otherwise, for any pre-approvals or whatnot, you can hit no, I'm still looking. If you don't have an address to put in. We'll ask a few more questions about the property. Is it existing? It's to live in. Before going into personal details. So again, basic stuff here, title, gender, relationship status, dependents. We also require 3 years of resi history, which is, I think, quite standard nowadays. On this page here, I've already completed it, again, in the interest of time, but it does ask for your client's driver's license details. This step does 2 things. So you'll do a KYC, obviously, so your VOI component is then done. And also you'll generate an Equifax credit report. So we've got built-in Equifax, which is great, giving you a soft credit report, which is fantastic for your clients. And you guys get a full consumer and commercial report, so CCR. Get the 1 score and the apply score, which is fantastic.
Nice.
Now moving on to finances. The first tab of finances kicks off with our open banking integration. It looks like it's timed out, but basically your clients can go through and provide, or if they want to connect, they can connect up to any of the banks that comply with open banking. For those who don't know what open banking is, it's a much more secure way to share your bank statements rather than bankstatements.com or Ilion, which do require screen scraping and also password sharing. ignore this. This is a dummy account, but basically this is our demo platform, which allows me to go through and connect just a fake account. But the best thing about open banking is it's all done through 2FA. So if I go ahead and connect my CBA account or NAB account, you can send me like a text SMS code, which is really cool.
Okay, perfect.
It's optional, by the way. The clients can skip it if they don't want to connect, but it's built into Middle and it's included for all the brokers out there. So as you can see, they can then connect and share what accounts they would like to. If someone not relevant, they can untick them. And the good thing with open banking is, I think I touched on it earlier, it sort of does help the client get through a bit quicker in terms of pre-filling parts of the application. So as you can see here, it's doing some calculations. The wizard is waving his wand. But you can see here, it does pick up like a personal savings account or checking account. So it helps your client get through a bit quicker. Otherwise, the client can go ahead and self-declare any assets they might have, any properties, so owner occ or investment, as well as any cars, vehicles, home and contents as well. Again, same with income. So as you can see here, it's picked up a deposit, regular PAYG from my bank. But then ask me, okay, what sort of income is this? I can go ahead and say, yeah, that's my PAYG income. I make 10 grand per month before tax, and I work at Transport New South Wales full-time as an analyst. At the same time, I can enter in my employment history, and because I still work there, I can tick that box, and that will cover off that aspect of my income and employment history at the same time. What's really cool about income is we can also, obviously, he's picked up a residential property income that I had provided in my assets page. So any rental income you can put down, as well as any other income type at all. So self-employed, you've got dividend income, any government allowances, it's all available for you to choose from. So really easy as well. Self-employed, it's a big one, I know. ABN, company, name of business, it's all catered for as well. Again, employment history we require 3 years of, and that was provided in the previous income tab. Liabilities. Now, as I mentioned, we have Equifax built into the platform, and that will pre-fill the client's liabilities directly from that Equifax credit report. So this is great because a lot of clients don't know that they have a credit card open from 15 years ago. This will pick things up like that up. It even overlays with our open banking system. So if your client has uploaded the CBA mortgage account, for example, it'll pick up things like the balance, the limit, the interest rate, and things like that, which is great. Otherwise, the client can go ahead and add any additional liabilities if they want to, edit or change whatever they need to as well. The last real manual thing is for your client to predict their expenses. So we categorize them and break them down to make it as simple as possible for the borrower. But essentially, it's all simplified, and the client can just go through and estimate what they think they might spend on a monthly basis. Now, we do also have the banking verified expenses that I'll show you later on, derived from open banking. But this is just your client's self-declared expenses, just for you to have an understanding or a baseline to go on. The next page, this is just a loan preferences tab. It allows your client to just communicate and share with the broker what they want to achieve from the loan, if they have a desired loan amount in mind, or any rate types they're after, or payment types. They can go ahead and also leave any comments as well if they need to. This does help with the soccer later on too. And lastly is documents. So Middle provides a really safe and secure portal to upload documents. As you can see, each document requested will have its own little portal to upload into. So you can drop files or attach them from your computer. If you do complete Middle on your phone or tablet, which is very well optimized for, by the way, it allows you to use your camera on the phone, take a photo and upload it straight away into the Middle portal. So really handy for those borrowers without a computer, on the move, or if they're doing it on the bus home from work. Super easy, can be done in less than 10-15 minutes. With the documents, you can see that we also rename them for you. So first name, last name, document type, and date stamp, which is great. And as mentioned earlier, we do also the automatic TFN redaction as well, which is fantastic. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Your client will hit submit, and at that point, the broker will receive an email saying your client has completed the fact find. And at this point, I can go back into my broker portal and review that information straight away.
Okay.
Do you have any questions before I go through the broker's side of things?
I did want to double check that if a broker could actually pull through data they may have already collected and have it sit there, and then if it's correct or incorrect, the client themselves could adjust it.
Yeah. So 2 ways at the moment we have that in play for any existing Middle customers. If they're coming back a year later or 6 months later for a refi or a new purchase, their data will be stored obviously on Middle. And upon their return journey, they'll be able to just go through a streamlined process where they can update whatever's changed, or just provide new documents and keep the information the same as before. We also have a pre-fill functionality at the moment with Infinity. Brokers can pre-fill client data from Infinity to go through and start their journey with that basic information. I assume we'll roll out something similar for LMG and AFG software soon as well.
Okay. But for non-aggregator users at this moment in time, could they webhook it over or?
They could. So we do have an API, open API that we can and we will give out to brokers essentially. It just needs an uplift at the moment. So that will be something available, I reckon, in the next few months that we can roll out to network wide.
Perfect. Because it's all about like reducing time and effort ultimately, and how brokers can optimize the way they work. And obviously, if you've already collected data, you don't want your clients to double enter that information. You really want to streamline that process.
Yeah, of course, that's right. And talking about streamlined processes, like if your broker pre-fills a bunch of the application and the client goes through it, it's about a 5 to 10 minute process, really, from what we see on average. And then another 5 minutes, the broker probably review it and verify the data. So all in all, you're looking at less than a 30-minute job from completion of fact find to importing to CRM and starting that loan application.
Nice. And it kind of gets to that almost one-touch process.
Correct. And that's what we aim for. A lot of borrowers nowadays are time poor, or they don't want to go back and forth, emailing documents across, or completing PDFs. They want to do it once and just have it ready to go. And the thing with Middle is because we've got smart integrations like Equifax, we've got open banking and whatnot. It gives the broker a much better understanding of the client's end position in terms of verified information, which gives them, I guess, more insight into the client, but also a more accurate understanding. So it avoids that back and forth in terms of going back and asking and double checking, and go straight to the application from there.
Excellent. And you have the ability to, this is the broker side now, where you're now reviewing the documents, and if unfortunately someone supplied a photo instead of a income statement, you can reject that document and explain why.
Exactly, yeah. So this is a broker portal here. I've just opened up Amelia, the recent application, and you can see a couple of things off the bat. You'll see the credit score. So we give you guys the apply score as well as the one score, which is great. If I click into it, you can actually download that full PDF as well. So obviously that looks just like a regular CCR that you'd imagine. And again, this is our soft touch, so it doesn't affect your client's credit score whatsoever. So always good to have these to start with. We've also got some insights and flags here. It will pull up things like, debt to income ratio if it's too high or things like that. So great to just have a glance over. Property details, we've got built-in information from Cotality. So
it used to be CoreLogic.
CoreLogic, they keep changing the names every few months. But yeah, this gives you really accurate information in terms of the desktop valuation or the AVM, as they call it, for the property in question, which is great. Good for a starting point in calculating, serviceability or LVR. Obviously, clicking down the lines, applicant details, addresses, IDs, you can see it's been verified, and the driver's license details are here below, as well as employment history. Finances is where the fun stuff begins. So on this page here, you'll see a list of all the connected accounts via open banking. And what you can do is click on this transactions button, which will download a nice big Excel spreadsheet, which I prepared earlier, which looks something like this. So it has a lot of information on it, but I just want to highlight the important tabs. So firstly, a list of all transactions, which is great, as well as all the accounts that have been connected, and more importantly, a list of all the categorized expenses. So just zooming in here, you can see all these expense categories and their monthly expenses towards the right on this histogram. It does reflect it nicely for you to view as well. So having a glance, it gives brokers a more accurate understanding of what a client expense might look like. And if they really want to get into it, on the next tab here, you can actually analyze each expense category. So for example, if I want to see how much my client might be spending on groceries, I can come down, click on that, and I'll see, a nice average over the last 3, 6, or 12 months as well. So data like this gives brokers a really good insight and a better understanding of the verified information coming through. So when they're applying to the banks, to lenders, they know that they have the true figures in front of them. They're not speculating, and they're eliminating the room for error, essentially.
And ultimately, as a document, it just really gives you a clear view for the overall outcome of
So for example, like you can come down and look at the client declared income, the client declared expenses, and you can sort of see, okay, he reckons I spent $2,000 on groceries, but if I go back and have a look, my average of the last 12 months is more, oh, you know what, it is about $2,000. So he's right.
Yeah.
You can't have that back and forth comparison tool, which is great in terms of calculating and understanding those figures.
Because ultimately the spreadsheet is from
this is derived directly from the banks and the bank statements effectively.
Yep. And now you're matching what the client has said to what the actual bank is saying that they have done. Because, for example, often people forget about their pay in full, whether that's, afterpay or something like that.
Yeah.
And you can see that type of transaction and say, oh, this is your situation.
Yeah, it uncovers a lot of things that clients might have forgotten about, or they might be forgetting about on purpose. Compliance thing, like I think some aggregators or some lenders need to see bank statements as well for proof of verification. So having this as a broker is, giving you that step forward, and that also the confidence in what you're presenting.
Perfect.
Just moving down, obviously with finances, you've got the income as well. It's all tabulated, makes it really easy to visualize. Expenses, we spoke about that. Liabilities, again, this is just data pulled from Equifax. So if you want to read it from the report, you can, or you can have a look on this table here as well. As well as any assets that client might already have, property, any connected accounts. Loan details, again, this is those preferences that the client selected. And ultimately documents. So on the documents tab, you'll have two sub-tabs. One is for the bank statements. So with open banking, you also get bank statements that you can use and provide to the lenders if needed. So you'll find these here as well for each connected account. And then ultimately documents that the client has uploaded themselves. So you can see here, you've got driver's license, we've got passports, we've got, PAYG income statements, self-employed income statements, and whatnot. So these can be downloaded individually if you want to. Otherwise, as part of the import to your CRM, they will go along and be uploaded to those platforms as well.
Okay, and you also have it download all as a zip file.
So some brokers like to download it and keep it record on the desktop or on a OneDrive, so you can do that as well. It's up to you.
Excellent. Is there anything else that a broker should know?
Yeah, I reckon the most important feature is this edit in customer portal function. So this is essentially a function which allows you to go into the client's application, whether it's at the start of the journey, halfway through, or at the end. It allows the broker to go through and complete or make changes as if you were the customer. So this is great for reviewing. If a broker has gone through and reviewed the client's finances, for example, they might say, oh, okay, the expenses are a bit too high or a bit too low from what I can see in the bank statements. So they can go ahead and, and make those changes. Another one is for like income. That's sometimes also a bit out of whack. If it's a self-employed income, especially, the client might have some complex income structures. So therefore the client might want the broker to go in and actually add it themselves. So as a broker, you have full control over going through, completing the fact find, making changes, making edits.
Even assisting your clients through as well.
Yeah,
which is a big one. So we understand that, brokers are dealing with a lot of clients that may not be so tech savvy. And that's why it's really important that the broker can get in there and help them through straight away. Again, we want to make sure it's the most, the smoothest journey possible, the most efficient pathway to collecting data. And this is a big part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with documents,
This also makes it easy for updating.
Exactly right. Like if the client has, for whatever reason, provided the expired driver's license, or you want to upload the new one, you can delete it, upload it yourself, or just help them a bit quicker. So as a broker, you get full-fledged control and functionality. You are in the driver's seat at all times, so you can make those changes, edits, and once you're happy with it, you can import to your CRM really easily.
Perfect.
Thanks for the reminder, Bailey. So referral link. This is actually a really cool feature that we have in Middle. It's just a simple URL. It's called our referral link, and by the name, you can guess what it is. It's a way to get in more passive lead gen footwork or traffic through your platform. A lot of brokers, they can put this link on their website when any ad campaigns they run, any advertising, and also give it to their referral partners. Like a lot of our brokers give it to their accountants, their real estate agents, and what it allows for is a mutual handover in clients. So brokers can sort of have a platform where referrals can come through, slot in their name, email address, and phone number, and say, yep, I want to purchase a property, and then I'll get an email straight away on my broker portal saying, cool, we've got a new lead that's come through. they're warm, they're hot, give them a call and they can start their application on the spot. Just to give you an example, I'm going to show you one of our brokers here in Sydney. I like Hero Finance. Shout out to you, Vach. I love your website. A lot of brokers do this. They start your journey or sort of call to action on the websites. And if I click on this, it'll take me through to his white labeled middle page.
Okay.
So I can say, if I'm a lead, I've come through the website, or a referrer, I can say, yep, cool, I want to start a property purchase. It's just me, myself, and I can go ahead and start. On the next page, if I want to, I can start the full fact find. Otherwise, the broker will receive a notification on his portal saying Chris has come through as a new lead, and then he can obviously reach out and do whatever he wants to convert.
Oh, nice. So, okay, originally, when I thought about it as a referral link, I thought it was something like, say you have an accountant who you work with, you can put this on their website.
Right. A lot of brokers do that as well. So it's very versatile. I mean, you can use it however you like. I've seen brokers put it on like on a fence at a footy ground saying scan QR code, and it's like this link here to their middle portal. So your creativity is the limit, essentially. You can turn it into a QR code, you can put on your business cards, you can put it online, Instagram, LinkedIn, it's up to you.
Yeah, and there are some updates to look forward to as well. We are building out this referral link feature in the coming months as well. So you'll be able to create multiple links and, link each of those unique URLs to a specific referrer so we can track those leads nicely and even do things like co-brand with them as well, which should be pretty exciting to see when that comes out.
Nice. That would be great. If people wanted to reach out and learn more about Middle, where should they go and what should they do?
I reckon the best place is to go to our website. So middle.finance, as simple as that. And then click on brokers, Middle for brokers. And from here, you can start now. We can book a demo. We run demo sessions every Tuesday and every Thursday, where we go through in about 45 minutes, show you guys how to use the platform, all the ins and outs of it, best practices. Otherwise, you can start now. You can reach out to me. I'm down here. I'll also pass along Bailey's and iPhone numbers if you want to hand them out or link them to the pod, you can. But middle.finance/brokers, I reckon this is the best place to start.
Perfect. And of course, we'll have those types of show notes in the bottom, as well as any other relevant links. For anybody who is watching this, if you wanted us to have another pod or had more questions, feel free to put the comments below. I'm sure the team at Middle would love to help you. Again, thank you for joining me on the pod, Chris and Bailey.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
See you later.
You're welcome. Bye.